everybody has their own style. Mediums don't all do it the same. Some people see more, hear, feel, and demonstrate in different ways, in private or in groups. So yes, I have my own style.
Hello, everyone. I am Claudiu Murgan, the host of the Spiritual Inspired podcast. Welcome back to a new episode. My guest is Sharon Farber. Sharon, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
You are a licensed massage therapist, healer, award-winning artist, and medium. So many skills you have. And you also attended a mediumship workshop at Arthur Findlay College in Stansted, England. And last year I had two guests who were fresh of this one of these courses in Arthur Findlay College. So why in fact did you go to this college, and how that course worked for you?
Okay. Well, the massage is a little bit old. I've been doing that for literally 38 years, and I'm pretty much done. I just have 3.5 clients I can't quite let go of yet. I've been very excited and passionately developing as a medium for 14 years and teaching it, and I've been to Arthur Findlay College 4 times. The first time was in 2012 for a beginner, let's make sure this is what I want to do kind of thing. And it was amazing. And I went back in 2014 and 2017 and then 2019 for more advanced classes. Because if you're going to study mediumship, that's probably the best place to go. It's the Harvard or mediumship schools, or rather the Hogwarts of mediumship schools. So I wanted to go to the best. So I did, and each time I went, it met the needs that I had at the time, from a beginner to an advanced teacher, mentor, medium who'd already published a book, who just wanted to strengthen my demonstration abilities. That's when you give group readings.
And yes, the word on the street is that R.J. Rowling has inspired the book, the Harry Potter series of books from this college. It looks like exactly in the book.
Yes, a bit.
And why did
It's like a castle. It's pretty much like a castle. One of the years I went, I literally had to go upstairs and downstairs to get to my room. And it took 2 days to remember where it was. It was very fun.
Interesting. But what made you go towards mediumship? What determined you to take this path?
Well, I've done the massage and healing for many years, and I was passionate about that until I found mediumship. Someone invited me to a mediumship demonstration, and I was already almost 50 at the time. And I thought, sure, that sounds interesting. I'll go. And it was amazing. I realized how healing it was. Medium brought through loved ones I think there were 10 or 11 of us there. She connected with our loved ones, and she connected with a close friend of mine and my firstborn dog. And I saw how incredible it was. And then I invited her to my massage therapy office, where I had an extra room where I had group events. And she came and did small group readings about once a month for a year. And I got to see firsthand how amazing it was. And then she couldn't come anymore. I had a client who was grieving because his daughter had died. And it just came to my attention that we needed more mediums. And I thought, I want to do that, and decided to try.
So in other words, mediumship is a skill that can be acquired through practice. Is that correct?
That is my message. I had so many people tell me, oh, I didn't think you could learn to be a medium. I thought you had to be born that way. I've heard that hundreds and hundreds of times. And back then, I didn't know for sure. And I said, well, I'll find out. And I read books, took classes, started practicing, and developed and became an accurate, compassionate professional medium. So my job became to teach others and let other people know, if you want to be a medium, you can learn how. And this is how I did it, and I can help you learn how. And that's my niche, teaching
And
others and letting people know that it's not this super gift just for the chosen few, that it's something you can learn to do.
and over the years, have you developed your own style in dealing with your clients?
Everybody has their own style. Mediums don't all do it the same. Some people see more, hear, feel, and demonstrate in different ways, in private or in groups. So yes, I have my own style. I wouldn't call it unique. It's evidential mediumship, so it's based on providing facts, evidence, specific information so that somebody will know that their loved one is coming through. It's not cliches. I've got a grandmother here and she's in the kitchen and she wears an apron and she likes to bake. So it's more about the effectiveness and the evidence than my particular style. It's just we do it all to the best of our abilities. And the people I teach, I help them develop their own strengths and their own essence of how they give mediumship. It's not like, here, do it the way I do it.
And do you perform these teachings online or only in person?
Both, much more online. I teach some in-person classes and I lead retreats, usually a couple times a year, 2 or 3 times in person, somewhere nice in nature. I'm going to teach one in the Poconos of Pennsylvania in late spring. And then I'll be in the Virginia mountains in the fall in October. But I do private mentorship one-on-one online through Zoom. I teach beginner classes online through Zoom, and I have 5 online mediumship circles, 3 for evidential mediumship, 1 for trance mediumship, and 1 for trance healing. So it's all kind of that all evolved with COVID. I had a couple online circles prior to that, but with COVID, when you shifted, and now I can teach and work with people all over the world instead of people who find my little town here in Connecticut.
Yes, and you just mentioned 2 keywords which I wanted to ask you about and go deeper: trans mediumship and trans healing. What are those?
Well, regular mediumship, mental mediumship, evidential mediumship is pretty much vanilla mediumship. If I was giving you a reading, I'm going to talk in the third person and say, I have your grandfather here. He had a big mustache, big white mustache. He had a great sense of humor and he had crinkly eyes and he was really a lovely man and enjoyed people, yada, da, da, da. So I'm telling you about him and you're going to say, yes, I understand. And that is regular mediumship. With trance mediumship, what you do is you go into a deeper state, you close your eyes, you breathe, you use your intention to release your thoughts and get out of your conscious mind, and you invite a spirit person to blend so deeply with you that you allow them to speak through you. So in trance, a spirit person speaks through us, and generally the voice shifts, the mannerisms might change. In a serious trance demonstration, somebody might even speak a language they don't even know and talk about information they don't know anything about. I am newer to trance well, I've been studying trance mediumship, developing it since 2017, since my 3rd visit to the college. So compared to 12 years of mediumship, it feels newer, but I'm actually writing a book that's called Trance Mediumship: The Next Step. And Llewellyn, my publisher for Choosing to Be a Medium, will be publishing it. And I already have an audiobook contract. And so I've been thoroughly immersed in trance mediumship. So anyway, back to the question, you invite a spirit person to speak through you. In trance mediumship, you are giving uplifting information, philosophy, healing to a group, or sometimes in trance mediumship, you allow a loved one in spirit to speak through you, and it's like regular mediumship, except the person speaking through you. Trance healing is inviting a spirit healer to blend with you, enter you, come so close with you. And you, it's the same kind of thing, but instead of speaking, you ask them, allow them, invite them to work through you to bring healing to somebody you're giving a healing to. I've been doing healing for 35 years in the mediumship, and now just in this past year, I've been integrating it all together. So trance healing is pretty amazing.
And when you do trance healing, are you conscious of the process and the energy that comes through you?
I am still conscious. I am not, some of the classic trance healers like Edgar Casey and Harry Edwards. Anyway, some of them will actually go into a trance, like boom, be gone, and the healing happens. At this point, I am conscious of what's happening. I may or may not feel the presence of one or more specific healers, and I sense some of the things happening, but simultaneously, the person I'm healing will tell me afterwards things that I don't know about. They might say, I felt some heat here, I felt them working on this part over there that I'm not aware of. And I've been doing most of my trance healing sessions online also, which is different from my background of massage and healing in person. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's quite interesting the way I've been doing it for the last several months. I'm new to this healing energy process. I do see the energy stopping in the body of the person I'm working on. And again, in 90% of the cases, I did not know what type of disease or medical challenge they have, but the energy stopped where the energy had to stop. And then I told them later on, and they said the feedback was, yes, I have issues here and there. It's exactly where the part of the body, the energy stops. So it's very interesting how this intelligence, which we are not conscious of yet, works.
What kind of, are you doing trance healing or another type of overlapping healing?
I can put a name to it. Is an energy that comes through me. I invite it, and then my body moves, and I see a hologram. I bring the hologram of the other person, and this is how I transmit the energy through the hologram.
Neat.
So, in other words, exchanging this feedback looks like the veil between these two walls is very, very thin.
I think so. Yes. I'm still getting used to the trance speaking and the trance healing because I am thoroughly enmeshed in evidential mediumship where I give a reading and there's evidence. I am connecting with people in the spirit world that I never met, don't know anything about, and I'm giving information. People understand it. So it's very evidential. The trance speaking, I'm still on the learning curve of surrender and trust because what I'm saying isn't clearly validated right away. When I sit in a trance circle and people are like, oh, I saw your face change and this happened and that totally relates, it's somewhat evidential, but I'm still getting used to it and letting go further and surrendering and trusting without constant feedback like in evidential mediumship. And same thing with the healings. I've been doing free practice trance healing sessions, mostly on Zoom. I think I'm at like 35 out of 50 that I'm doing. And they give me I don't know anything about most of these people. I do the healing, they give feedback, I give feedback, and a lot of times it lines up. But
And would you be able to provide one or two examples of how these people, what they had as, again, disease or medical condition, medical challenge, and how they felt afterwards? You know, people sometimes are much more inclined to hear these type of examples and then follow up.
mhm. Well, one of the women that I've worked with twice, she's waiting for another one, has stage 4 breast cancer. So it has metastasized to several parts of her body. And the first time I worked with her, she felt heat in one of the areas and mostly relaxed, felt healing all, and healing. And then the second time she felt it in a different area. In the meantime, her scans have shown that one of the tumors that had gotten larger is smaller, but she's also on a new chemotherapy, and I don't take responsibility for that. I think it might be helping. It's all part of the healing. I have somebody I saw last week. I didn't know anything about her. The woman who has the cancer is a friend of mine, so I knew about her. I worked with somebody I'd never met before last week, and I was very aware that there was something major going on with the physical body. I knew they were working with her on a cellular level and that it was all about that. And I got information about just an awareness of something having to do with medication and all that. And afterwards, I found out that she just had open heart surgery. She was having issues with the medicine. And I got an email from her a couple days ago, which was a couple days after the session, maybe 4 days after. And she told me that the pain here is less, the pain here is less, and went on and on. So that's really cool. And she attributes it to the healing.
Yes, as long
That's
as
an example. Somebody else, I didn't know anything about him, gave him the healing. He said during the healing, it felt like somebody was shaking his legs, shaking it. Like he gave some reference to being in the army and ropes and shaking his legs that I had no idea about. But anyway, he felt better. He had less pain in his back and his legs afterwards. And I said, well, you just lay down. Do you normally feel better after lying down? Because I know I do. And he said, no, usually when he lies down, he gets stiff and he has to get onto his side to get up. So a lot of people feel better, have less pain afterwards. This isn't a controlled study. I don't know how long it lasts. I can't prove anything. I am exploring trance healing. I'm fascinated. People are excited about it. Most of the people like, if you want to work on me again, I'm available. But that's what I know. It's just my own experience so far.
yes, it's fascinating, especially if we understand that we work in the quantum physics, in the energy surrounding us, and we are all connected. And that's why we have to be very careful with what we put out there. Even when we work on these people and our brothers and sisters, we have to be sure that at the end of each session, we cut all the energetic cords and we don't leave anything behind.
I don't worry too much about that. When I'm doing mediumship, I use my intention to connect with spirit people, spirit healers, give information, do healing. And when I'm done, my spirit door just kind of shuts. End of story. Nothing lingers. I don't get stuck with that. As a healer, doing massage and healing for all these decades, when you connect with somebody and they're in pain and their emotions, that's different. It's like I don't want to get enmeshed in somebody's illness, pain, and emotions. And so it's like, okay, all done. But that has nothing to do with, in my mind, to spirits or spiritual energy. I don't want to be drained or picking up the emotional baggage of embodied people, but I have no concern about those in the spirit world. and I have really good boundaries.
Yeah, that's good. Sharon, how your creative juices developed since you turned towards mediumship? Have they improved? Do you see anything going into a specific direction?
My creativity was really focused on my watercolors. Those are some of my watercolors. You can't see much because of the well, anyway. Nope, that didn't help. But anyway, I've been an artist for all these years, but now instead of focusing on art, I've been focusing on the mediumship. So it's all about spirit and healing, but the creativity is, I'm not exactly working with it. For me, the creativity was more about let's paint and make art. And now it's all about healing and bringing love and peace between the two sides of life.
I mean, healing is a different type of art, no, working directly with energy and people.
Healing arts, it's definitely called the healing arts. But I'm so immersed in that. People ask me, are you still painting? Are you painting? I'm like, not at the moment. I maybe when I finish my book and or if I ever get to retire, maybe I'll paint again.
Okay, so let's talk about your first book. What determined you to write it?
Well, here, first I'll show you a little. This is my first book called Choosing to be a Medium, Experience and Share the Healing Wonder of Spirit Communication. I wrote the book because, as I mentioned before, I wanted to develop as a medium, and everybody told me that you can't do that. You have to be born that way. And the working title of the book was How to Become a Medium When You're Not Born That Way, or Are You? My editor, my publishers thought that was a little long, and that's where we got Choosing to be a Medium, which I'm happy with. So, I want people to know that mediumship is something you can learn because there's just so many readings I can give. I think it's healing, brings peace, and it's a wonderful thing for people to have, and it'll help the world. But there's just so many readings I can give. And if I teach other people to do mediumship, I will have a much greater impact on the world. So writing the book was something I was compelled to do. So I did it because I thought it was information that would be really good to share. And I was compelled and guided to do it by the spirit world. I was not somebody who had any interest in writing anything. And it was just this like, I got to do this. I got to do this. It was very weird. And then I had tremendous help from the spirit world. I mean, finding an agent, getting a deal with a traditional publisher is more challenging than getting into Harvard or winning a lottery. It's ridiculous. And it all just came together. So it really felt guided, supported, and meant to be. And that's what's happening now with the next book. It's kind of crazy.
Glad to hear
So,
that everything worked out for you.
yeah, so that's why I wrote the book because
And sure, you know that everyone feels that the energy of Mother Earth is raising these days. Everything around us is in continuous movement. And I want to know if you had the chance to visit any sacred sites and read the energy of the place, go into a trance and see what comes to you.
I have not. I've kayaked the Grand Canyon twice. Yeah, but that was a long time ago. I think that was 90 and 1995. So kayak being in the Grand Canyon, I would call a sacred place, and some of it more sacred, but I had no idea it would be a medium, but I could still feel the energy of the place. So since I've been on my mediumistic path, I love nature. I love being at the ocean, in the mountains, and in water. So I'm drawn to nature, but I haven't done anything classically going into trance to pick up the energy of a sacred place. But I am most at home in mountains, in the ocean, and the Grand Canyon. I haven't been there in a long time, but it's pretty magical.
Yeah, I think there are two kind of two versions of us. We go to a place as a tourist and we just enjoy the view. But then if you go with a heightened awareness of the energy of the place, you can get a different type of feeling.
The canyon trips were were 18-day trips, a 15-day and an 18 private trip through the canyon. So it wasn't like a tourist thing. It was intimate and sacred well, I was a massage therapist and a healer, so I guess that helped me be open to the energy there, but not like I would be now.
Are you planning to add any other spiritual tools to your existing toolbox?
Not that I know of. I don't decide these things ahead of time. They just kind of happen. Right now, I have my consciousness full with the pursuit of deepening my trance mediumship and my trance healing, and that's a long-term kind of practice. That's not like I'm going to do this for the next couple months and then shift to something else. I've dabbled in other things, shamanic healing, the shamanic drumming and journeying, rebirthing, so breath work, overtime, all kinds of energy healing other than trance. But I don't have any current plans. I don't know what's next, if there are next, but this should keep me busy for a little while.
Yes, indeed. And you mentioned several times your connection with the spirit and the guidance you receive. If you can share how exactly that guidance and connection um, reaches you.
My connection with my spirit guides until recently has been indistinct. For years of my mediumship, I would know that I'm supported by my spirit guides, but not know them intimately and personally. That has shifted in the past few years, where, especially with the trance work and in some of my evidential mediumship circles, I have my spirit guides that come through just as if they're regular loved ones in spirit, because I know them and they come through. But it's more, for me, it's more of the idea of going to Arthur Findlay College in 2012. I had young children, poverty consciousness, the idea for me to up and leave. I think my youngest was, well, anyway, let's just go with young children. And I went up and flew to England to take this class. That was, for me, felt like guidance. That wasn't my idea. It was kind of like go, 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 the book. And now this whole trance experience. So for me, it's not like I see somebody and they tell me and they speak to me. It's more of being gently and subtly compelled to do or go. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. And do you feel that in the near future you might need another trip to UK for another workshop?
I think, no, actually, I feel that I have, at this point, spent enough time with embodied teachers and helping me, and that right now, indefinitely, my journey is working with those actually in the spirit world, the spirit guides, the spirit healers, instead of having human people, embodied people tell me things. It's more about deepening that relationship and learning to trust myself and do that. And that could take years. So I
Yes.
don't have a current intention or desire to go back there. Plus, the college is having issues. There's a problem between the management and a lot of the tutors, and there's controversy and stress at this place that's been this amazing mecca of spirit. And I'm glad that I don't feel a need to go back right away until they get that sorted out, which I hope they do.
Yeah, seems that there are some forces that don't like people to be taught in this type of fine arts, energetic fine arts.
I don't know about that. I think it's just people and their people and egos and the dynamics of people running things and tutors that came to a head and there was an issue. I think it was an amazing, perfect place for me the 4 times I went there.
Yes, I mean my friends, my guest also confirmed one of them is a close friend, and he confirmed that he had an amazing time. He just didn't want to leave.
It's tremendous. So I hope they sort out whatever needs to be sorted out and so they can get back to that pure supportive energy. Some of the tutors I know and respect are teaching elsewhere in the area.
Nice.
But
Sharon,
I have tremendous respect for Arthur Findlay College and that they will work things out and it'll be better. You were saying?
what are your plans and programs for the remaining of 2025?
Well, I briefly mentioned before, I have 5 ongoing online mediumship circles. And the one evidential mediumship circle on Thursday has an opening, one opening for a person Thursdays at 1:30 Eastern time for 90-minute circles once a week. I'm going to the Himalayan Institute in Honesdale, Pennsylvania in the Poconos for the first time leading a treat. And that's, I think it's May 30th to June 2nd. And that will be mediumship development immersement. It's in a beautiful place, vegetarian food, mountains, a pond, canoes, and I will be small group, not more than 12 students. So I'll be doing that in the late spring. And then in October, I'll be going back to Pathways Retreat Center in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. I did that last summer. It's on top of a mountain in a huge house with a bunch of bedrooms and a deck overlooking this beautiful mountain view. It's got a little waterfall and stream, and I just bring people together. They have regular food. They have omnivore food there cooked for us, and it's a beautiful place. So I'm looking forward to going back there to teach people, once again, not more than 12 students. And that's what I have scheduled so far. I've taught 2 retreats in Hawaii, and that was amazing. And I'd like to do something like that again, but it's really far away. So I'd like to sort something out for Mexico or the Caribbean, because I'm on the East Coast of the USA. So Mexico or the Caribbean would be better for me. I want to be on the ocean, at the ocean. So if anybody has a great place where they want to invite me to lead a retreat, mountains or ocean, preferably Caribbean warm ocean where we get to spend a lot of time at the ocean, I would love to set something up for that, especially during the winter, maybe next winter.
Especially during the winter, yes.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to go to the Caribbean or Mexico, we should do it while it's cold and snowy here.
Yes, and a lot of my guests are organizing this type of workshops in Bali or, as you said, Hawaii and then Mexico. I think the energy is much more inducing there for people to open up and relax their bodies and be in the sync with the ocean and the sun.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely plan on doing more warm ocean coast beach retreats.
Yeah. Sharon, if you have the chance to give humanity another gift other than what you are offering right now, what that gift will be?
Compassion, love and support of fellow people instead of a lot of what's going on now
Yes.
throughout the world. Just compassion for people and other animals and the planet. Just tending and nurturing and taking care of each other and the planet on all levels. That's what I would recommend, offer, and support.
Yes, we need that for sure. Thank you. And what's your perception of God?
My perception of God would be kind of an infinite creator source is what I use when I refer to God. What it's not is a man, an old man in the sky. It's a universal energy, and that we are one with source creator. And I guess that's as far as I'm gonna go in for now.
Beautiful.
Of course, nature, the ocean, the mountains, love, acceptance, oneness, we're all connected. I guess related to my idea of what God or source is this idea of mediumship, that we continue living. When we physically pass, we go into the spirit world and we continue evolving as a soul. That's not answering your question about God, but it's part of the whole process.
Yes. Sharon, we are approaching the end of this lovely discussion. Any final words?
If people want to learn mediumship, I can help you. If you're already a medium and you want to strengthen your abilities, I'm good at that too. And if you're terrified of your mediumistic abilities and you sometimes see people in spirit and you have no idea what to do with it and you're trying to not do it, I can help you with establishing boundaries, relieving your fears, realizing that mediumship is a sacred healing process all about love and that there's nothing to be scared of in the spirit world. I guess that
Perfect.
would be a good thing to share, and that I
Yes,
can help people with all of those things. And
indeed.
then I think somebody should invite me to the perfect retreat on the Caribbean by beach. And then
And
we'll co-host it together and make that happen for next winter.
yes, and if you take a course with Sharon, you don't have to fly to UK. She was taught by the best, so you're gonna get the same type of teaching. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
And to my viewers, thank you for watching. Share it, leave a comment. And until next time, love and gratitude.